Welcome. Classical Mechanics, Herbert Goldstein, is the very standard book for the graduate level teaching in classical mechanics. Currently, we have the third edition of the book. It appeared in the year 2001. If you look at the text, which was appeared first time in the year 1950, it was well received and a reprinted version of the book was appeared. Now we have nearly 75 years since the first Classical Mechanics by Herbert Goldstein appeared. After the first edition, nearly 30 years later, second edition appeared. During the year 1950, the quantum field theory and the discovery of many other elementary particles have not happened. So that time we have the very well understanding of classical mechanics and quantum mechanics. Later, when the theoretical physics subjects were developed, we needed an update on this classical mechanics subject. If you compare with the third edition of the Goldstein book, second edition will give you the feeling of it's a very standard book. In the third edition, C.P. Pollue and Safko joined with Goldstein to reedit the book. The book was made it in a most reading friendly way. There are some general thoughts about this book. This book is mostly analytical and you will find less geometrical. It may appear difficult for a self-learner, but if you look at for the classroom teaching and for a group study, this is a very standard and thorough book to cover all the topics of the classical mechanics. And this is like a Bible for classical mechanics. One thing which you have to look for is the correction. The second edition had a lot of corrections in it, and you have to check for the reprint of the book, like 6th or 7th reprint. And you have to go to the website which is maintaining all the corrections and the clarifications. If you are stuck with some derivations or some problems, then you can easily check it here if there are some mistakes already present in the book. So this is the website and which is still being maintained. Okay, now let's come to the chapter arrangement. This book is almost 600 pages in content without including the appendices. So I have listed here about how many percentage of these 600 pages is covered by all these 13 chapters. In the second edition, so you want to find the classical chaos chapter, which was a later development in the field, and it was included in the third edition. Now it is nearly 25 years since the third edition appeared, but Professor Herbert Goldstein passed away. Rest in peace. Okay, now let's look at the chapters. This survey of elementary principles, variation of principles and Lagrangian equations, the central force problem, the kinematics of rigid body motion, the rigid body equation of motion, oscillations. All these 6 chapters are setting up most of the fundamental subjects which is required for the classical mechanics. In the 7th chapter, you have the special theory of relativity, and in the 8th, 9th, 10th, Hamilton equation of motion, canonical transformation, and Hamilton Jacobi theory and action angle coordinates. Within these 10 chapters, you can cover almost all the subjects which is required for M.Sc level classical mechanics. And then you have additional subjects, classical chaos and canonical perturbation theory. You can exchange each other in which order you have to study. Then you have the final chapters, that is the Lagrangian and Hamiltonian formulation for continuous systems and fields. What these advanced topics are giving you a pathway to move to the other fields which are the theoretical physics subjects needed to be studied in the later time. The second edition contains a lot of content comparing to the third edition, but the third edition is the most user-friendly edition for the students, and we can approach this book with a lot of confidence. The problems are all listed at the end of the chapters. They contain in a 2 format. One is derivation and the remaining is the problems. And I have to talk about the appendices. Appendix C is solutions to selected problems. You can check Appendix A and B, which contains Euler angles and alternate conventions, groups and algebras. That is the Appendix B is somewhat interesting. You can quickly review your group theory knowledge in this place. Even the Clifford algebra used to classify the particles in the standard model is also presented in this appendix. Although Second edition is a very thorough book. The requirement of third edition was justified in the following manner. So there are different type of algebras, and we have to have something where the students can learn and move to other subjects in the theoretical physics without having any difficulty. And mainly, if you see the first appearance of 1950, the amount of theoretical content which we have to study is comparatively lesser than what we have today. The third edition is giving you a practical pathway. So that's all about this book. Support this channel by like, comment and share. Thank you.